Before I get on your ass, my father.
Pause.
Why am I still living at the house, John?
Because we like our kids a little bit, and we made sure they're financially stable before I say get the fuck out. I'm not gonna say get the fuck out and they're not financially stable, so they end up moving back in.
What you got to say?
You know what I mean? If we love our children and we want to have them established before they move out, you do what you can as a parent to grow that kid
And watch your goddamn mouth. Let me tell you
That was a
something,
husband,
you
by the
simple-minded, remedial piece of dead salamander. Let me tell you something. Because my parents like me, I'm 23. I just graduated a year earlier in 2023. I was supposed to graduate in 2024. Nigga, I can't be prosperous. My parents can't let me try to establish myself. Just because you and your parents' relationship is dog water, don't mean you gotta be on my dick. You hear me? How about you just go eat glass until somebody you have never met before gets tired? Ooh, look, a random lighter.
ADD. All right.
A dog? I'm gonna fight it.
A dog.
ADHD.
Doggy.
Some of those
Damn,
can't
boy,
live
you
alone.
look
And you
like
said I'm
a-
joking. I'm joking.
There's
You look like a
other
black
reasons
man that
why
stands
he's
out in
a
front of his
dog.
house with a t-shirt on all the time. Built with a pop
Dog,
belly.
a lighter.
Let me turn the camera around so y'all can see him.
Down south.
Damn, turn the camera around.
And he has beads in his hair.
Look
I
at
I can
you.
guarantee you he's
Come
gonna be
here.
married.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
you
It's
biscuit.
But it's necessary. Like Asian people, they will all be living in a 2-bedroom, all 12 of them, and then they'll start multiple businesses, and then everyone is flourishing, and then now we're all shopping at their stores and eating at their restaurants when they all started from Sukjin's basement.
Wow.
And what happened to Monday?
Out there.
They started cutting down families. Hello,
Who started? And
you know what happened on Monday? Y'all know that Netflix
oh,
show?
yep. You couldn't
There
have.
was a law passed that
you
they could
couldn't
only have one
kid.
kid.
Yeah.
Oh, China.
Mhm.
Is
But
that
no,
what
but seriously
Oh,
though,
it was really good.
even like a lot of different cultures, they allow their families, like they support each other. It's family. Like I feel like maybe is it an American thing? Is it a social media thing that's changing everything?
They
Like
also keep the money within their culture, though.
exactly. And
So
we have
that's
never
the
done that as
difference.
African American. Well, I don't know.
That's not
Okay.
saying never. Or you know what I'm thinking about? Like the economic centers. They may not necessarily been in town.
You're supposed to put you're supposed to support each other. You're supposed to uplift each other. You're supposed to work together. Now we're at a point where we no longer do that. We've been broken down from experiences like that, where we've been burnt down every time we try to make progress. So now we're at a point where we don't even, I guess, maybe try. I don't know. So the community part is missing in our culture.
There's
I
also
think we finna be forced into it. Forced back. We about to be forced back into communities to be. I mean, I feel like I don't even need to explain that.
a lot of I feel like we have two extremes right now, right?
Tell us.
We have the kids that were sheltered
Mhm.
and they are a different problem. And then we have the YNs who were outside. I don't think there's any balance between the two. And that's why I don't think that you should kick your kid out and let him figure it out, right? I don't agree with that. But I do think at some point you got to cut the umbilical. And you got to especially if it's a boy, you got to let him be a man. Because when a man has to be a man,
What's the age?
for me, in my opinion,
Well, just based on what you're saying, like at some point you have to cut them off. What's the age that you would?
I would say if you went to college,
That's what. Yeah.
if you went to college, whether or not you dormed there or you commuted, 3 years after graduation or 3 years after you leave.
I don't think there should be a specific time. I think it should
I'm
just
saying for a
literally be-
man, not for a girl.
So we have men, we make men, so just so we're clear, right? So for a man, rules should be different, right? And men should obviously operate differently. So, okay, after a certain period of time, a man should be out the house. I'm sorry, I'm just going back to even what we were watching with Ocho Cinco. Like there's certain behaviors that a man should have, right?
I see where
So
you're
you
going.
should start learning how to be a provider and start learning how to be financially well off. And you should learn early not to depend on anybody else. I mean, including
I don't
your
want to
family.
say see. I think I think we got to stop saying not depend. We all depend on something, a source.
No, when you leave the house after college, that means go depend on yourself and figure it out.
I mean, figure it out. I don't want to
No.
say depend on yourself, but figure it out, right? So like.
That's dangerous.
Learn like because we all need like a gradual process, a transitioning process from being taken care of for 20 plus years and then being left on the street, it's gonna take time. That's why I said 3 years after post graduation or whatever the situation is with college, if you do graduate or don't.
What if you don't go to college?
If you don't go to college, I would say
As a man.
4 years post high school.
So 20?
22. If you graduate at 18,
Okay.
I would say like 22 going into 23. Because if you don't go to college, I think like you should have had a plan. I don't think like usually, well, I don't know but today now, but
We know plans don't work in life.
a plan actually sets you up to walk down the path. I'm not saying you can't come back home, but you have to try and fail. I'm not saying like you're completely, X'd out forever. Like, okay, listen, you're 26, you couldn't figure it out, you fell on your feet, you got to just suffer in your car. No, you can come back home.
Okay.
I'm gonna take you in until you figure it back out, give you a second chance. But I want to be your safety blanket, not your shelter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Allow you to utilize what we have as a trampoline to bounce back up rather than just staying here and never going out and trying again. I mean, if I had to take on, I'm looking at it my own life. If I had to take on 2 kids at 28 years old or 29 years old, and I lived by myself or on my own, I should say, majority of my 20s. So if I had to take on 2 kids and a whole family, right, at 28, 29 years old, and I never had that experience of actually getting it together, I would have crumbled. I would have fucking crumbled.
They didn't. That's what I'm saying, because they had support.
What do you mean?
Like,
You talking about they didn't?
my mom had me at 17. I know multiple people who had kids young. Well, now that I'm a mom, I'm just like, how did y'all do that? Like, we would have crumbled. I am agreeing with you.
No, but I'm saying I've already been by myself, like on my own.
Right. I've been on my own since I was 17 too. But I'm saying even if I had a child then or now.
No, not 17. 17 is too early.
Oh, okay.
Like 17 is too early, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Like I'm saying, like being that, like I would say 22, 23, 24. Actually, 22, 23. At 23 to 24, I was back at my mom's, and then from 24 on, I haven't been. Right. So because I had that experience already navigating through life, having responsibility. When all of my friends graduated graduated college, and or they were extended 5th, 6th years into college, and they came out. They were 24, 25 years old. I already kind of understood life as an adult. I understood how to pay bills. I understand what my rent costs. I understand my car note. I understand how to balance my money. They still were trying to figure things out, and a lot of them didn't figure it out till now.
Yeah, but they still also had the opportunity too, because they graduated college. So now
No,
it's like
because that shit didn't even help a lot of them. None of them doing it.
I want to just say one quick thing. Instead of the guy's parents stated this in that video. So instead of kicking your kids out, what you said, 3 years post college or 4 years post high school graduation, why not like continue to parent them and make sure they're on the right track and allow them to stay at home? So the way you train a kid to be an adult is, okay, you got your little job.
You got your little job.
Like whether you're out of college or out of high school, whatever, you got your little job. And so now you need to start learning how to pay for your responsibilities. Okay. So now you pay your cell phone bill. Now you pay your car insurance. Now you need to put $50 worth of groceries in the refrigerator, even though you're eating up 200. You know, like I think you eat, because I don't know. I'm not saying that parents aren't teaching these things already, but if you really want them to be able to leave your house and not return and flourish while they're out in the world, even if they're staying at home, you have to help make them into like useful adults.
But the problem that I see is that there's no real repercussions, right? If I don't pay my car note, my car's getting repossessed, right? Now, if I don't, put $50 in the groceries, I ain't got no food to eat at home. So these little responsibilities that happen, you tend to let them slide, and you tend to get like, because they might be like, yo, they messed their money up, and maybe they not giving you that 100, 200. So what's the repercussion?
Maybe your mama.
No, but I'm saying,
or maybe your daddy.
What's the repercussion then?
The repercussion is you didn't put in on these groceries. You need to go to your little friend house and eat.
Okay, so now,
Like I don't.
so now,
The difference between that and them getting it on their own.
thank you.
What do you mean?
If they're not doing it under your roof, what makes you think they're going to do it?
Being under, I think At the end of the day,
Why
being
wouldn't you, though?
under
Why wouldn't you do it under your parents' roof if they're telling you like?
Because you
this
know
is the
your
reality
parents are
of
going to
it?
be lenient with you to some extent. The consequences are nowhere near the same. And you're like,
we got
Yeah, I don't
different
know.
parents.
Yeah,
we got different.
I crashed my mama car and I had to go to work at Subway, and she made me collect cans out the trash can at the gas station.
Pay for
I
it.
had to pay for that car
yeah, but you had to pay for it. Why?
because I crashed her car.
No. Okay, if you didn't pay for it, what would have happened?
I don't know how my mom did it, but she instilled in me that I have to be responsible for everything that I touch or do.
No. Answer my question.
So I don't know what you're asking. I don't get it.
So exactly, you did it out of respect, out of love, out of kindness. But you didn't do it out of fear of repercussions. There was no repercussion that you can actually think of that I didn't. If I said, "Yo, listen, mom, I crashed
She
your
called
car,"
the police on me. Maybe I thought I was going to jail. I don't know which I
what I'm saying is the real life repercussions don't exist when you're still have that umbilical cord attached.
And they're also different. I'm sorry to cut you off. They're also different between men and women.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah.
staying home and letting your mother or your father just enable you as a man, that would make you less of a man in your 20s and slow you down like long term.
But see, that's the problem. Like, if you as a parent are not preparing your child to go out into the world, you better 100% expect for them to bring their sorry, trifling asses back to your house.
Too.
And I think that's where you mess up. I think this is, even though you guys are saying men and women are different in this regard, I think that you need to have some kind of skills. You need to know how to like pay your bills. You need to know what your important documents are. You need to know your social security number. All the things that
And that's
your
the
parents have been doing. At some point, your parents have to cut, even though you live with them, your parents have to cut the umbilical cord to allow you to be an adult. They still might pay your car insurance, right? But you still got shit. My parents was paying my car insurance, my cell phone, and everything. I was away.
But
Shit.
you're also a woman.
It doesn't
But
matter.
they're paying your brothers?
I don't
a
know.
woman. She was a woman. I was a thug at 7. Like I had Gabby, am I lying? Sorry,
But you're
am I
still
lying?
a girls, what we're saying.
No, I could not. I had to get it. I had to figure it out. I ended up in